What's up, everybody? So we are back for another story time, and we even have a few people here with me during story time. Anna, Grayson, Jacob, and Bailey. Be sure to check out Bailey's channel at Bailey045. Yeah, right there. Yeah. All right, so we are here. I don't know if you could see in the background or not. I don't have a viewfinder facing this way on this camera. We are on the roof here of the abandoned charity hospital in Laurel, Mississippi. I've got another video where I did a drone flyover of this. If you want to check that out, link in the description below, along with the link to Bailey's channel. In my last video, I was talking about the reason I was getting sentenced to prison. So in my last video, I was talking about going before the judge and everything, and I ended up going to federal prison. So in this video, I'm going to talk about my first day in prison, I guess. I don't know. I'm going to talk about when I had to turn myself in.
But wait, there's more.
So anyway, we are here on the roof of the abandoned hospital. It's like 12 o'clock at night. Yeah, so pretty sketchy place. That's actually one of the reasons I wanted to film here. I was telling Anna, and I didn't know we'd have the group with us, which is awesome. We come up here by ourselves sometimes, and people are like, well, that's really sketchy. Like, aren't you scared? And I'm like, no. You know what's scary? What's scary is walking into a federal prison full of criminals and never have spending a night in jail before in your life. So yeah, so I figured this would make a good backdrop. So anyway, after the judge sentenced me and told me I was going to spend 9 months in prison, told me I'd get a year probation afterwards, he put me on a it's like a supervised release type deal up until I had to turn myself in. So basically, I was sitting at home waiting for mail to arrive saying what date, what time, and what prison I would be going to. I don't know, a few months goes by, and I believe it was maybe in January, I finally get the letter. It says I will report to Talladega FCI, which is in Talladega, Alabama, obviously, and that I would report in, I believe it was April 30th. So the first thing I do is I go on the computer, I Google Talladega FCI, and I see this big high security prison. They call it a medium, but in the federal system, you literally have minimum, medium, and max from what I've seen. So technically it's a medium high. Now this prison had 2 rows of fences, you know, big tall fencing with razor wire on top. Cable wires actually strung across the prison, which I later figured out was to keep helicopters from landing to get people out of prison. It was kind of scary. The second thing I did was I made a phone call to the U.S. Marshal's office and was like, hey, I just want to confirm I got this letter saying I have to go to Talladega FCI. I had been told by the judge that I would probably just go to a minimum facility because it was a nonviolent offense, first-time offender. And she did assure me that I was going to go to the minimum, they called it a camp. So I was actually going to report to the camp at Talladega. But of course, up until the day that I turned myself in, I was freaking out because I was thinking, well, what if they got something wrong? And anybody who's had any experience with law enforcement systems and justice systems in America, you realize that a lot of times you think you're going in for something minor, or they say, oh, don't worry about it, you're going to go here or there, and then all that gets messed up by the time it actually comes down to it. So a few months go by, and my birthday was actually in April before I had to turn myself in. So it was one of those birthdays where I really didn't ask for much because I knew for the next 9 months I was going to be spending my time in a federal prison. Basically, I just got everything ready, set up money in my account where I knew my insurance on my truck would get paid and everything like that. Of course, all my stuff was paid for. My house in Florida was paid for. And I set up one of my friends down there to stay in the house to keep an eye on things. So it was all just about preparation to go away. So when the day came, we actually left the day before because we had to drive from where we were in Mississippi here in Laurel to Talladega, Alabama. So we went over the day before, stayed the night at a hotel, and had my last dinner. I had some good steak and potatoes and all that. Couldn't really eat much though because I was nervous about the whole thing. Stayed the night in the hotel, and the next day went into the prison. So when we first get there, we weren't even sure where to go. So I remember we pulled in, there was this big office building to the right, and then the prison up ahead and another prison to the left. So we, hey Anna. Anna's throwing rocks at me. I'm trying not to make this take all night, so if you quit. So there was this brick building on the right, so we pulled in, walk in the front, and they're like, what are you doing here? And I literally told them, I was like, yeah, I'm here to check in. I had a reservation for 2 p.m. And Mom just started laughing, and the officer didn't seem to find it very funny. I mean, I was just trying to have a good time with the whole thing and you know, have fun, I guess. I don't know. What? I'm recording and everybody's throwing things. You're gonna make me stop recording. I'm gonna have to record later. Oh. Ow. Don't hit the camera though, please. Jesus Christ, this lens cost $1,000. So after we went in there, they told us, they said actually have to check into the main building or the main prison there. So I actually had to go in through the security thing and got in there, told them what I was there for, told them that, you know, my name and all that. They pulled up my stuff in the computer, and we're like, okay, you have anything on you? So they patted me down. Like literally you could have, like, if you had glasses, you could have glasses. Your clothes that you were wearing, you would later take off and put in a box and would get mailed back home. True story.
Wait, for real?
They give you clothes whenever you check out.
I thought they just kept your clothes and then you get your
No, they mail it. I know, that's what I was thinking. But anyway, yeah, so they end up mailing your clothes to whatever address you give them. Get in there and go through the little processing.
Did they throw the white powder on you?
No, they don't do that in
No,
federal.
they threw the white power on him.
They threw the
That was a good one.
What the fuck is the white powder?
Because he's in prison for being racist.
It's what is it? It's like what do they call it? Delousing.
It's something like that. They strip you naked and they take you in there and
And they throw cocaine on you?
Nice. Wait. This
Yeah, some of them throw the delousing powder. I've heard of that at county jails and stuff like that.
Wait, what is that?
It's like if you have any lice or anything like that, it'll kill it. Like any, I don't know. It's like, I don't know.
Are you a racist today?
Throw the
You are
white
now.
power on him.
This is all going in the video too. It's gonna be great.
Is it?
Yes. Yeah, that's what you get. So no, they don't throw the white powder or the white power on you when you walk in.
You need like Batman sound effects. Bam!
What'd you break? Your flashlight?
broke a flashlight.
Okay, so they get me in there, and actually what I had to do, they had me take my shoes off, and I went through this body scanner. Like, you keep your clothes on, you take your shoes off, hold them in your hands, and you stand on this thing like a conveyor belt, and it runs you through this big metal detector looking thing. And apparently it shows them a whole x-ray of you so they could see that you're not carrying anything. And that way they don't have to make you get naked and bend you over like they used to do. Naked. Naked.
Very naked and afraid.
Naked. How do you pronounce it? N-A-K-E-D.
Yeah, naked, not naked.
Naked?
We live in Mississippi.
That's
bro, like-
how you say it in Mississippi. It's naked to the
I'm
rest of
from
the
the
world.
same place. I never said it like that.
Yeah, but that's because you're gay.
No, you're
You
saying
told
it. That's what I'm
me,
saying. You're from Mississippi and you're saying naked. That's not how you actually pronounce it. It's naked.
Naked.
There's an A in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, naked.
Yeah. Eh.
It's
Yeah.
English,
Not
bro.
naked.
It's confusing.
So anyway, they run me through the body scanner thing and then send me in this little dressing room thing where you can go in and they like give you clothes and stuff. It was like oversized wind pants. I don't know how to describe it. No, it was like the like prison pants. What is they looked like parachute pants on me. But no, it's just like regular cloth cotton pants that were way too big. So anyway, they give me some oversized pants and oversized t-shirt. It was like a double XL. I was like, y'all don't have anything smaller? And they're like, no, that's it. They get me set up in that, take me in and ask me a lot of questions about my family history, health and stuff like that. And then they put me in a holding cell in the hole. It's technically what they refer to as the shoe. But that's where they hold new inmates as well as people who get in trouble. But anyway, so I sat there for like an hour and then they actually walked me down to the minimum facility, which was the camp. One thing that was real interesting, the lady that walked me down there, like, I mean, you walk out of the prison, like just walking out of the prison, no shackles, no nothing, all the way down and walk through the front doors of the camp. From there, they take you through, you go through the visiting area and everything, walk through another set of doors, and then you go through like a little courtyard, and then they put you in one of the dorms. So I was in the T dorm, and which was fitting because Tim, I thought it was kind of cool. So the lady walks me in the T dorm and she walked me over to one of the it's like cubicles. They're like 6 foot tall concrete walls divided up, about 100 people in each of these dorms. There was what, 4 dorms I think. So she walks me by and she walks me past this cube she was going to put me in, and there was like 2 or 3 black guys that apparently were staying in this cube, and she was like, yeah, that's a bad idea. So I was like, oh. So she walked me on down to one of the OGs that was in there, and he was over the dorm. She was like, hey, I need a place for this guy. He was like, well, what's the deal? And she's like, well, he ain't gonna fit in over there very well. He was like, why? And she was like, just looked around. She was like, hate crime. He was like, oh, okay. So they walked me to another cube and sat me down, and like there was a little chair, bunk beds, and then like a single bed. I walked in, sat down, they were like, here you go, you'll have the top bunk and we'll get you with laundry and all that later. And I was like, okay, sure. And there was some big dude sleeping under the covers on the single bed sitting there, and I'm just kind of sitting there like, okay, not really sure what to do next. As I'm sitting there, the guy that had walked me over to the cube came back, had a handlebar mustache, small little glasses, and he sits down on the bed and he goes to wake up the other guy. He's saying his name. He's like, hey, wake up, wake up. The guy kind of peeked out from under the covers, and looked at me, looked at him. He's like, what do you want? And he's like, we got your new cellie here. And he was like,
What's your name?
told him my name. And he was like,
You a child molester?
and I'm like, no. He's like,
You a faggot?
and I was like, no. He's like,
Alright, we good.
and then pulls the covers back over his head. And then the other guy was like kicking him again. He's like, no, no, no. Ask him what he's here for. Ask him what he's here for. And he was like,
What are you here for?
and I was like, hate crime. And he just kind of pulled the covers back and he smiled and he was like,
We're gonna get along just fine. Wake me up when it's time to eat.
and I was like, okay. That was the day I self-surrendered into the prison. And come to find out later that night, they were actually going to have a party and had somebody dropping off some alcohol and things. Yep, so I'll tell you how that went down in the next video. But anyway, thanks for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, and click the bell to be notified of future videos. And I'll catch you next time.